Hello everyone, it's Cassie. Welcome back for another Trinity Stamps video. Today we're going to be making some gift boxes, and let's talk about what we're using before we get into all of that. We are going to be using the Coco the Gnome. We're also using the North Pole gnomes. I love these little gnomes and all of their matching dies. I also have those for Coco the Gnome. And then we're going to bring in the Good Tidings as well. So I was going with a gnome theme. And then I wanted to bring in all of these stencils. I really love these stencils. These are the checkered background add-ons. We've got our striped squares, our snowflakes, our stars, and our trees. And these go along with a bunch of other products, other stencils that have been released throughout the last few months, and they all go together so well. And then we're going to be bringing in an oldie but a goodie. This is our pillow gift box dies, and we're also going to be using all of the other elements in there as well, not just the pillow box, because we're going to make some tags. So let's go ahead and get started. I've gone ahead and die cut out the pillow box out of 3 colors of cardstock. In the end, I'm going to show you 5 total ones that I did, because once I got started, I just couldn't stop. These are so good to have in your little gifting arsenal, if you ask me. And because there's so many little things you could shove in these pillow boxes. So I think they're good for all occasions. But I've brought in my Tonic platform, and I'm going to use my magnets to hold that stencil down. And then just to cover that one side, I've got a piece of mint tape, but you wouldn't have to go as far over there. I'll show you some little tricks with that. We're going to bring in a blending buddy, and then I've got some Game Over ink, and then I'm just going to blend that, moving my magnets as I need to, all across that background. I love the striped checkers. I think they're wonderful. The regular checkers are great. You could add this with the regular checkers. That's why this is an add-on. So just imagine if you wanted to really spruce up the color on there. Oh, you could have a lot of fun with this. But I'm just going to stick with our checkered background, and then I'll pull that tape away, and I'm going to line this up over a couple of those rows so that I can make sure that I have this nice and lined up. And then I don't have to worry about putting tape on that other end, because I'm obviously not going to go all the way over to that one edge. And then I can put that away, but I'll clean up my mess, but check that out. That looks so good. And now that my mess is cleaned up, I'm going to bring in the snowflakes for this one. For those other 2, we're obviously going to use the stars and the trees, but this red just I thought would really look beautiful with the snowflakes. So once again, putting our magnets down and a little bit of that mint tape, and I've brought in some shark tooth ink by Ink on 3, and then I've got my white blending buddy. Yes, I have a blending buddy for each of the colors. I honestly just find that that is essential for me. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to cleaning my products up. You would know that if you saw my gel plate. Oh my goodness. Which is fine. It doesn't hurt them, but that's why for me it's important to have a blending buddy for each of my colors. So we're moving this stencil around, and we're just filling in those snowflakes where we need to. I think that white on that red just really pops. It looks so good. And then we'll do that on that side as well. Now, keeping in mind where I am going, part of that's going to get covered because we have to fold this in and glue it closed, but that's okay. I just wanted to make sure that I hit all the essential areas. Check it out. I'm in love. All right, so for the yellow, I went ahead and did that striped background, but I wanted to show you I'm putting the trees on there using a fake plant ink is what it's called, and then just using my green blending buddy to blend the trees all over that background. That looks so good on that yellow. For my green one, I did yellow stars using one of my Distress Oxide inks, and it doesn't show up as well, but I think that's because I just chose a lighter color. You'll see it later on. I think it looks fine. It just on the camera doesn't show up as well. In real life, it shows up pretty decently, but not very well on the camera. Okay, so we filled that in. Check it out. That's another really cool one. I'm not done with these. I'm going to do some splatter. So for this first one, I wanted to use my silver. Now this is the Trinity Gold palette. The one you can get in the store looks a little bit different. Is actually a little better priced. I have an older version. And I'm going to clean off my brush, but check that out. I've splattered that silver all over that background, and it looks beautiful. And then for our last 2, which, like I said, that star, you can't really see it too well, we're going to use the gold. I'll show you up close on the camera. You can get a better look at it then, but there are stars on there, I promise. And that, splatter just, gotta do the splatter. I love splatter. It just makes my heart happy. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm fairly messy in the craft room. I don't know. It speaks to me. Okay, so let me show you how those look up close. Oh, they just shine in the light. Love it. And even this one with those very faded stars looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of coloring. I'm going to start out just doubling up the coloring. I mean, double the speed. I don't color this fast. But pretty soon we are going to quadruple the coloring because there's a little bit going on here. And I didn't want this video to be 30 minutes. So we're going to use our Olo markers. And as you've noticed, or if you've ever watched me before, I tend to go light to dark. That's just how I like to color. It just works better for me. But you do what you're comfortable with. And actually these color combos, because there aren't a ton of Olos out yet, I mean, I feel like there's a decent amount, but definitely not as many as there are Copics. And I have all the Olos. This red combo, I think, is one of my favorites for Christmas. The R0.5 and the R1.7. And then as far as like going for classic green, I'll show you that here in a second. That would be the G0.4. It almost looks slightly minty there, but once I add the other green color, I feel like that is just classic green. So if you're new to Olos, try it out. So we'll bring in that G1.7 and I'll blend as I go. Because it always looks, when you're first putting that dark color down, it always looks like, ooh, that's too much. But once you blend a little, it definitely helps. And as far as where I'm putting my shadowing, I'm just kind of guessing, you know. Wherever I think the light source is going to hit, that's where I'm putting my shadows down below that. And then we'll bring in our WGs. We've got our 1 and our 3. And for whatever reason, when it comes to the grays, I tend to go dark to light on those most of the time. This case, I didn't. I went with my WG5, and then I'll bring in my WG7, and then I'll blend that just a little bit as well. And then we're going to bring in his skin tone. We're doing OR 1.1 and then OR 3.2. That has tended to be my go-to colors for like a Caucasian type skin color. And then we've got our OR 3.7 for our reindeer. I end up coming back in for his little hooves, and I make those black just because I just didn't feel like the lighter hooves looked very good on there. And so we'll blend that out a little bit. The blending always helps. And then this is where I'll bring in that black for his little hooves and his nose. Love it. He's so cute. And then I'm going to bring in one last color just for all the gold. I'm not going to show you the coloring of the other 2 gnomes that I did, but I do have those done. Again, those are from Coco the Gnome and our Good Tidings. But I'm going to bring in those matching dies for each of these and tack that down with a little bit of mint tape. I have 3 Merry Christmases that I've die cut out. I've got some Winter Wishes and Good Tidings. I thought those were all perfect for a little gift giving. And for each of my pillow boxes, I did die cut out 2 of whatever I wanted to, whatever icon I wanted to use. So for the stars, I used 2 per, hearts 2 per, and even for the coffee cup, I did 2. And so I'm going to show you how I put these together, just one of them, but I'm using some rip and stick tape where I want the cord to go. And then I'm just going to double that cord up and I'm going to peel off the release paper, stick that down on top of there. And then this is where I bring in my crafty glue friend. This stuff is great. It dries pretty quickly, which is good. I'm going to go all over that star and then I'm going to layer it up with another star. So that way your cord is going to stay put. It's not going to come out of there, I promise you. After you've put on not only the rip and stick, but your crafty glue friend, that baby is staying put. And it just looks it looks finished, right? So with your cord in between those 2, it really just looks finished. Okay, so I did that for the hearts and the stars. I'll show you how I put together the little coffee mug, which is darling. And this one already has a hole in the top, so that makes it really easy to put the cord on. And then you've got your one little piece for the rim of the lid. And then I'm just going to put the other one together as well. The reason I wanted to do this just because it just looks finished when it rolls around. You wouldn't have to do it. I mean, it's really not necessary, but I just like the way that looks when it's spinning around on there. And then I will put my cord through there, double it up, tie a little knot at the end, and that one's good to go. I am going to end up putting the words on those. But yeah, so now we're moving on to a belly band. Now this was just an add-on I wanted to do. I cut these to be about like 1¼ inches and by 6½ inches, and I'm scoring them at 6 inches. And then here's where we're going to put our little pillow box together. I have found the easiest way to do this, which is super easy, is just to make sure that you bend at all of those embossed lines. Go ahead and do that first before you put it together. It just makes it that much simpler. And then once again, we've got our rip and stick tape. It only goes on this one end. That's it. I'll peel off that release paper, and then once again, we'll use our crafty glue friend. This just ensures that everything stays together, that it is not going to pop apart unless you tear it apart. So, and again, doesn't take long to dry. I'm just going to hold that for a little bit, not long at all. And then we'll start getting our belly band ready to go. And once again, with the belly band, just like everything else, we're going to use rip and stick tape along with crafty glue friend. And this was just, like I said, just an add-on. I wanted to I don't know, just wanted it on there. I guess because I'm putting the Santa on this one, I think that's what started it for me. Because I'm putting the Santa on this one, it almost looks like a little belt on that red. And so it looks cute. I like it. So we'll peel that off. And I kind of debated if I was going to put the words right on the belly band along with our little Santa, but that's when I decided I was going to put them on the tags. So we're going to take Santa and we're going to put him right in the middle of that belly band. Just closing up my pillow box to see how everything's going to go. And then I'll take one of the tags and we're going to just loop it in there. So as long as you've made sure that your cord is long enough, you can just loop that little baby in there, and it's easy to take off if the recipient ends up wanting to, or you do. That gives these pillow boxes a little bit of longevity. So if the recipient ends up wanting to regift this little pillow box, they can just take that tag off of there if you've put the name on it. And easy peasy, you have another little gift box. We'll put the Merry Christmas right on the star. We've used foam tapes to put our Santa on there. And then we'll just slip that right over our pillow box. Everything closes up nicely. And check him out. I love him. He's great. And then we've got 4 others that I made. Aren't those fun? Oh my goodness. I had so much fun making these. I just want to make them for all the occasions because, you know, this add-on stencil has hearts. It has clovers there. And I think there's, there might even be a few more in there that I'm not remembering right at the moment. But gift cards fit perfectly in here. You could put a little set of earrings in there, little jewelry, whatever, or just any other little gift that you can think of that your recipient might love. But that's going to finish those off for today. I hope you love them as much as I do, and I hope it inspires you to want to get out there and get a little inky. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you so much for your support. I know I have been off and busy and not making as many videos, but I will be back after the first of the year, I promise. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.